Hey, welcome back to the Big Rand Show. Thank you for joining me. It was announced last week that John Lewis, the representative from Georgia, had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. It was something that really kind of sent shockwaves throughout, the political world, and especially in the civil rights community, I'm sure, and those in the African American community as well. John Lewis was not just a congressman. He was not just a congressman who served with honor, dignity, and integrity, but he also fought for civil rights. And a lot of people out there, especially the younger generation, may not know exactly who John Lewis is or what John Lewis did that makes him so important. It's not that he's a congressman. It is not that he has served in the House with distinction since 1987 that makes him such a unique and awesome individual. But back in the 60s, he partook in what they called the Freedom Rides. And that's where a group of black men and a group of white men got together and traveled in vehicles into the South, into places and the states and areas where it just wasn't acceptable or outright against the law for a black man and a white man to be in the same vehicle together. At a time where it could have got them killed, maimed, harmed. Especially in the Deep South. They'd take the trip, would go from Washington, D.C. all the way down to New Orleans. At a time when the South was not okay with that. It wasn't that long ago, folks. You may look back and think, oh, well, that's just history. That's old, ancient. No. Not even 100 years ago. Not even 100 years ago. And then you take what he did on that bridge in Selma, where he and that group of protesters protesting for civil rights in the city walked across that bridge in Selma, only to be told to disperse at the other side. And when they stopped to pray, they were attacked by law enforcement. They were arrested, they were beaten, they were bloodied. But the one thing about John Lewis, one thing I always have known about John Lewis, ever since I learned about this guy back when I first went to college, is he's not a quitter. Yeah, he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. But I guarantee you he's going to fight every step of the way. He's not a quitter. He's a fighter. And if there's anybody that could survive a stage 4 pancreatic cancer diagnosis, I believe it's John Lewis. Now, I've never met the man. I really wish I could have. I really would really love to meet John Lewis. I think he's an awesome individual who did a lot of good. Not only as a congressman, but mostly as a civil rights activist. Without people like John Lewis, and without Martin Luther King, and without the countless other people that don't even get their names mentioned, we wouldn't have anywhere near the equality that we have in this country. To the friends and family, and even the constituents of Representative John Lewis, I have you all my thoughts and prayers. And if you're watching this video, send your good vibes, your prayers, your good juju, whatever you have, whatever it is you do, to John Lewis and those people that are surrounding him, including his doctors. He's going to need all the help he can get. John Lewis, a great man, and diagnosed now with pancreatic cancer. It's really a sad thing because it's not a disease most people can beat. And like a friend of mine said on Facebook when I shared the story last week, it really should be just as important as, breast cancer or any other kind of cancer that we give a month to. But we don't talk about pancreatic cancer. I don't know why. But it's not spoken of. It's not talked about. maybe, since it's happened to somebody like John Lewis, maybe we can do something to push it to the forefront. Because pancreatic cancer is a killer. Doesn't have a whole lot of symptoms from what I've read until it's too late. So please keep his family and John Lewis in your prayers. This has been the Big Ranch Show. I'll see you down the road.